Hello everyone, this is Sachin Sawant, your UK immigration lawyer. Today I'm going to talk about the changes that will be brought into play from 11th of April for the spouse visa financial requirement. This covers, so just give a brief background. Uh, the financial requirement was introduced around July 2012, where 18,600 was the minimum required to sponsor your partner uh, in the UK for a settled person. So the sponsor in this case is either a British citizen, someone who is settled in the UK, has indefinite leave to remain in the UK, or someone who is a European national who has pre-settled status, or someone else who has refugee leave. So those are all the possible sponsors uh, who will be able to sponsor anyone on this type of visa category. And the person who is entering the visa is coming from. So the first visa is usually either an entry clearance application outside the UK or it is an inside UK application. So I'll discuss how this change of the salary requirements, the financial requirement. Currently, it is 18,600 to sponsor one person. I'll focus on this number. This changes accordingly for if you have children, etc. But that will be taken out because they are trying to standardize it. You can have as many dependents as you want, so there can be either one child, three children, two children, whatever that is. With this new financial requirement, that is what the intention has been stated. The rules are still in drafting. Still now, the rules have not been published yet. Once I get the rules, access to the rules, then I will make another detailed video on this. So currently, the financial requirement is going to increase to 29,000. It is going to increase in three stages. 29,000 from 18,600. The first increase is to 29,000. That will happen on 11th of April. Then it will further increase to 34,500. The 34,500 GBP. It may happen sometime after 6 months. That's what I can say. There is no specific date yet. So this one, the first one happens in April. The second may happen around October or so. And the third one that is going to happen is probably next April. The Home Office is saying about 1 year from the first change. So you can say 11th of April next year, 2025, it's going to increase to 38,700. I'll take into account now different types of applications. So someone who is already in the UK, this is a common question I'm getting across the YouTube channel. Someone who is already in the UK and is filing another application, whether the application is for extension. So if someone is on a spouse visa and they are trying to, it's not just spouse visa, I'll also explain that. So these rules of 18600 apply to spouse visa, that is both the parties are married. It applies to fiance visa. If someone is coming to the UK, the visa is granted for 6 months. Within the 6 months, they get married. And if there are any reasons why they are unable to get married, they can extend it further 6 months or so and get married in the UK. So that is a fiance visa. Also, partners, unmarried partners who have been cohabiting at least for last 2 years, they are also covered in this category. And same-sex partners, civil partners, any other partnership. So all relationships come under this area, where the sponsor is a settled person, either a British citizen, pre-settled status holder, indefinite leave holder, or having humanitarian protection. So those are some small areas. So the first change that will happen on 11th of April, the increase will be 20 to 29,000. Anyone who is already in the UK on the 18600 rules, on the previous rules, they will not be affected. That's what Home Office has confirmed through our immigration lawyers calls also in the fact sheet that I have here. They have confirmed that those changes will not affect anyone who has already come into the UK on the previous rules of 18,600. They will not be impacted by the change, whether they are applying for extension or they are applying for indefinite leave to remain. They will still be under the same rules as before. Another question that I have usually got on the channel is about someone who has filed the application before 11th of April, but it 2024. Let's say you file the application latest by 10th of April or earlier, 2024, before the change. The rules change on 11th of April. You will still come under the current rules that of 18,600. So your case will not be jeopardized just because the rules change the next day. Important things to note here. Uh, the people always ask me, what is the date of application? Is it the date you submit the application online, or make the IHS fees or the visa fees, or attend the biometrics appointment? This is another common question. So just ignore the biometrics appointment completely. That's just one of the requirements for validity. Home Office wants the date of application can only be logged when you go into the application, pay the immigration health surcharge. So the immigration health surcharge, which has increased a lot now, it is 1035 per year of visa. For a spouse visa, it is multiplied by 1000 multiplied by. If you are doing outside the UK, you have to multiply it by three times. If you are applying inside the UK, you multiply it by 2.5. So that is the multiple you have to apply, 1035 into 3 for outside UK applications into 2.5 for inside UK applications. So once you pay the IHS fees and then you also pay the visa application fees, that is when you log the date of application. So any application, UKV application that you file, first the system takes you to the immigration health surcharge. Without paying that, it doesn't even go forward. So there is no option. You have to pay that, move forward into the application, pay the visa application fees. The visa application fees is very, very important. If you are unable to pay the visa application fees by 10th of April, your date of application is not locked. Sometimes I know people go in and they will just pay the immigration surcharge, and for whatever reason, card is not working, whatever other reasons, they are trying to transfer monies from this account to that account. The visa application fees has to be paid. The second application payment has to be paid. Only then your date of application will be locked as 10th of April 2024. Very important. People make these mistakes. I know Home Office may come back, will definitely come back. If let's say you pay the IHS on 10th of April or before, the rules change on 11th, and on 11th you make the visa application fees. They will write back to you, and so there is no fees increase, but they will consider the application under the new rules. Sorry. So that is very important. The visa application fees on the date on which the visa application fees is paid, the second payment, again I repeat, I know these mistakes happen, that's why I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. I have seen people do this. So IHS plus the visa fees has to be paid. Once the visa fees is paid, let's say I pay today, so today is the date of application, 14th of Feb. If you pay the visa fees on 10th of April and the rules are changing on 11th of April for the financial requirement, 10th of April is your date of application when you pay the visa fees. Okay, that's important. Okay, so that's how you can log the date of application. Another important consideration, I got many comments in the YouTube channel about this. People are trying to get the 6 months of pay slips and all of that. So that is the specified evidence, Appendix FMSE, finance family members specified evidence. In that, if you're trying to get the 6 months of pay slips, remember that the latest, the reason I'm talking of the salary requirement, there are different ways how you can meet the financial requirement. It can be self-employment, savings, rental income, pension, etc., stipend and all. But the main one, almost even Home Office knows, 80% of the cases are with salary income, with a salary income, whether variable pay or fixed pay. In such cases, with the latest pay slip, uh, bank statement, the latest part of the bank statement, the latest payslip dated should be within 28 days from the date of application. I have been asked this question several times on the channel and various other forums also, that if I have completed 5 months of my job and I only have 5 months of salary proof. However, I'm going to complete this, I'm going to get the sixth payslip after the change. Very important. After on or after 11th of April, it will be a problem. You will not meet the financial requirement. Even if you file the application earlier, because you only have 5 payslips, for example, I'm just taking this one example here. So if you don't have the 6 months of pay records, and if you've not earned that much amount, whatever is your threshold as per 18600, then you will not meet the requirements. So if you are trying to file the application before 10th of April or not before 10th of April, remember the financial requirement should be met on the date of application. So if it is 10th April or earlier. Okay, so I have covered anyone who is already in the UK. they will not be affected with this change if they file for extension or ILR. Yeah, so that is the first part. Second part, someone who has filed but not got a decision. So that's moving forward already in. Second one will be someone who is applied but not got a decision. Even if you don't get a decision, the standard processing currently is still at 6 months. If I'm not wrong, yes, it is 6 months. And the priority processing is 30 working days with an additional fees of £500. £500, yeah. Okay, so yes, if you submit the application before, even if you attend the appointment later, that is perfectly fine, whether it is inside the UK or outside the UK. For the appointment, you have a very long period outside UK. For VFS, the third parties and the TLS contact, VFS is in Southeast Asia and all, everywhere in the EMEA region, Europe, Middle East, Asia. So in this area, you have TLS contact. Those are third parties which deal with the biometric appointment and all of that stuff. You have up to 240 days. I know no one uses the whole 240 days for to attend a biometric from the date of application, but that is what the rules allow. Your application is not invalid up to the 240 days mark, though it may get stuck in the system somewhere. But yeah, okay. So that's why if your date of application is logged on 10th of April and you attend the appointment at a later stage, that is perfectly fine. You also have time to upload documents before the date of your appointment, even inside the UK or outside the UK. Rules are the same. Inside the UK, only thing is instead of 240 days, you have 42 days in future from the date of application. So let's say you submit the application on 10th of April, within 42 days of that, you have to attend a biometrics appointment. Okay, so that is about biometrics, and you have to upload all the documents before your biometrics appointment. Simple. So any new applications where the date of application, if you miss the date of application as 10th of April, if you're submitting on 11th of April, that's you're paying the visa application fees, the second payment on the application stage, your application will be considered under the new rules. So you have to meet the new rules of 29,000 for the financial requirement. That's important. So extensions, ILRs are fine. Who is already in the UK, they can file under the current rules of 18600. New applications which are filed before but decided later, they will still fall under the current rules 18600. Any applications filed on or after 11th of April will be under the new rules of 29,000. From the 29,000, this financial requirement is going to increase further to 34,500. 34500, that's how I remember it's 34,500. It may happen sometime in 6 months time approximately, if home office is exactly trying to aim that, but they haven't given an exact date. Only the first increase of 29,000 has been declared yet. Then further it will increase to 38,700, which they are going to bring in line with the skilled worker increase, which comes into play this April for the skilled workers, 38,700. So for the financial requirement for the family route applications, it will increase sometime April next year. They are saying 12 months from the first increase. Uh, Also, I'm very positive anytime the next slab of increase comes into play. Uh, so let's say if you are filing the application and at the time of application the rules are 29,000 financial requirement, you will not be impacted with any further increases, even if you file the extension or ILR after that. So the way to remember this would be if the first application, first spouse, partner, fiance, interesting. Yeah, so first partner or spouse visa or civil partner visa is filed, that is the financial requirement. You're locking yourself throughout your journey in the UK of extension and ILR. Remember that. So if you enter into 18,600 for the first time, your application is approved as per 18,600 financial requirement. That will continue for you till you get ILR. If it is going constantly, if you have breaks, it may change, things may change, but you should be having continuous leaves, continuous extension, and then continuous ILR. Same thing, if you get the first leave under 29,000, the same rule will continue 29,000 for you, even if the rules increase to whatever 38,700 by then or whatever the number is. So when you're entering the first leave period as a partner, as a family member, that is the financial requirement that will continue till the end, till you settle in the UK, provided all applications of extension and ILR are filed in continuity. That is important. And that is mainly about this spouse visa. Uh, and anything else that I wanted to talk? Yeah, this is the main thing. It's only about financial requirement, evidencing everything is exactly the same. Nothing else is changing in the immigration rules. They have not hinted anything in our meetings or calls with Home Office seniors, and they are drafting the rules. The rules are not yet out. So once I get that, I may make a detailed video explaining things, the intricacies of this. But this is what they are going to do. This is the intention, the intentional thing that I've discussed. And this video will be saved on the channel. Everyone can watch in their own time. And if you do like this video, do subscribe to our channel. Consider some memberships. There are some membership options and all of that. Thank you very much.